Welcome back. In today's lesson, we are going to be talking about creating and finding loops. Using a standard naming conventions for your loop names is critical in using Dotloop, not just so you can find your loops and keep your documents organized, but also so your manager or agent support can help you when you need it. Let's start first by creating a loop. Click the Add Loop button. On the next screen, you will be asked for a loop name. You will want to name your loop something that makes sense to you and is easy to find later on. If the loop is for a new buyer that I just started working with, I might name it their name and then buyer, so I know it's a buyer representation loop. If this were a buyer that I was already working with and was writing an offer, I would name it in contract, the property address, and then their name. Finally, for a listing, I would name it listing, the listing address, and then the seller's name. Now that you have named your loop, you can choose continue, but before you do that, let's look at another Dotloop feature you may have noticed while you were typing your new loop's name. You may noticed as you typed, name suggestions popped up. These suggestions can be tied to other users' loops, MLS listings, and even Google Map listings. Let's learn how to spot the difference and what clicking on one of those suggestions actually does to your new loop when it is created. You can see here as we type the loop name, suggestions come up. For this loop, 123 East Main Street, a few suggestions pop up that appear to come from other Dotloop users. You can tell that because under the suggested name, it says listed by agent name, and to the right, it says Dotloop and the MLS number for that listing. If you were to click that suggestion, it would then load the name you've chosen into the loop name box and will also pull pertinent loop information like listing dates, price, and address and load that into your loop for use in that loop only. This is especially useful when writing an offer for a buyer and quickly filling in the listing information for autofill. This information is stored in the loop details screen and can be viewed or edited anytime from within the loop. Now that you have chosen a loop name, click Continue to move to the Loop Template screen. On the Loop Template screen, you will choose the Loop Template drop-down menu and choose the appropriate loop template for the loop you are creating. This drop-down will include a list of commonly used loop templates for your region. This will include a buying loop, listing loop, referral loop, etc. Choosing a loop template allows the appropriate documents for your transaction to be automatically loaded into your loop. Keep in mind, you do not have to choose a loop template here, but not doing so will just create a blank loop with no folders or documents in it. Once you have chosen a loop template, or not, it's not required, you are ready to click Continue. On this screen, you may choose to upload a photo of the property in this transaction. It is not required. Once complete, choose Done. Congratulations! You have created your first loop. Now that your new loop has been created, you can click View Loop to go to your new loop. You may also click Create Another Loop to create another loop, or select Back to My Loops to go back to your loops and Dotloop dashboard. Once you have used Dotloop for a bit, you will have many loops which may make finding what you are looking for difficult. Luckily, Dotloop has several search and filtering tools built in. Searching and filtering can be found above your loops. The search box will search for loops by name, by folder name, document name, and people. Filtering can help you sort your visible loops by loop status, like archived and not archived. Sorting allows you change how your loops are displayed to you. By default, they are sorted by creation date. Personally, I like to sort mine by last updated date, so my most current loops are available to me when I need them. Finally, you can choose how your loops display: grid view, list view, and compact view. Awesome! Now you can create loops using appropriate naming conventions and with or without a loop template. You learned how to find your loops once you have created them. Finally, you learned how to filter and sort your loops to display the way you would like them to in your Dotloop account. See you next time.